Hello, everybody. Shut up, Anna. I haven't recorded in the last few days, so this one's longer than usual. Sorry. So, on Tuesday, I wrote 90 more on that parody I'd mentioned last vlog. All I have to finish now is I'll get that in a minute. All I have to do now is to finish the GLaDOS rap for it. I have 192 words on 5 poems. One of those is on DeviantArt right now, one of them might be later. I think I want to work with a lot more first. The one that is up on DeviantArt is one that I wrote before and wanted to work with it later. Was afraid I'd never get around to it, and finally did, and just rewrote the whole thing before putting it up there. Then 106 on my fanfiction, and 44 on a file that's an outline for my fanfiction. I wasn't gonna bother outlining because I just don't usually bother with outlines anymore because the story never sticks to it. But since I decided that instead of a word goal for 2,000 words on a story that goes up on DeviantArt, I'm going to focus on making sure I have the really important plot points already in place in the fanfiction. That way it'll be easier to pick up later. So I went through the outline, trying to figure out what those important ones are, and I've got them already written, like the really important sudden things that happen, the slower transitions are there. I guess need to include that in the outline, but I can't put all of that already in the story, or that will be the story. So I've got all of them except one at the beginning, which I've been stalling writing the beginning. But back to that story and the outline and everything later in the video. 432 words for Tuesday. Wednesday, I wrote a writing prompt for my blog. It's called Monsters because it's about, for Halloween, I thought it would be cool to have something about monsters. And it always hit me that I think the best monsters are based on things that you're afraid of, so that's what the prompt was. But that sounded like a bit of a, like, it's a bit hard to ask someone to do that if it's something they're afraid of. So I thought the only way it was really fair for me to ask that was if I followed it too. So in it is mine, and I just combined everything that scares me. I think it's cool, but it's gonna be even harder to go into the kitchen at night now. I also wrote a song about Portal that wasn't a parody this time, like based on another song. It was an actual original song, also named Monsters. So apparently I had this theme running through my head Wednesday about monsters, apparently. And 23 on a file. Can't remember what that was. 290 words for Wednesday. I didn't write anything on my fanfic because I had been avoiding the beginning of the story. I just skipped it and been writing all over the rest of it. Because the beginning was a bit daunting to me because I just couldn't figure out how to do it right. It's like everything that ran through my head was just boring and slow, which is the last thing I want the beginning to be because no one's going to stick around to the cooler, faster paced middle and ending if they can't get through the beginning. So most of my stories have fast-paced beginnings because of that. In this one, I couldn't write the beginning I wanted, so I didn't write it at all. Thursday, I woke up knowing that nothing was happening that day. Ever felt like that? Like if you manage just to get out of bed, you'll be doing something? So after laying there, not sure if I was going to bother getting out of bed that day, I finally just pull up my laptop, listen to some music, and then pictures from a story. These scenes just ran through my head, and one of them was one of the plot point at the beginning that I've been avoiding. I finally just knew how it worked, just like that. So it was completely random. I don't know why it happened, but I'm not going to complain. So there was just nearly 300 words on that fanfic on the scene I needed to write. It's boggling my mind. Then I wrote a bit on a file, not for a story. It's just these short comic strips that I'd love to draw, but I can't because I suck at drawing. Especially couldn't draw people, and it involves a person, so it's just I'm not even gonna try that one anytime soon. But the ideas either will not stop pestering my head until I do something with them, or I'll forget them, and what if I can draw later? So I have this file for stuff that I would like to draw one day, but probably never will, called I Wish I Could Draw. So I also have one called I Wish I Could Remix, trying to describe in detail what the remix would sound like. That ends up needing a lot of words. So, what I could call that Thursday? 332 words. So, last few days I haven't been feeling that good. I've been getting okay word counts, but I'm not gonna complain because I got an important scene down, I got a blog post down, there's a picture and a poem up on DeviantArt now. I've now nearly finished really 2 songs, which is hard for me to do. So the word count right now, which is kind of weird, doesn't matter to me. I'm actually content with a small word count because I look at what got done in those few words, which actually is pretty efficient. So look at that! I'm not mad at myself for once. I think I'm already having a pretty good weekend then. And you have a good weekend, everybody. This is Peace, Love, Pink, signing out.